Yeah, the 30's perspective won. People cast their votes, and so that is the new name of our podcast. So I'm going to introduce everybody. We have Alicia Terrell.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Carol. Hey. We have Orange Shields, a.k.a. Los, in the building. We have B. Mike in the building. I am Sherelle Unique, guys. All right, so how was everybody's Memorial Day weekend? What did everybody do? I know me, I went home for the weekend. I had family come in town. I had family come into my hometown. For those who don't know, I'm from Akron, Ohio. So we always hate her.
Did you just boo the girl though?
He's a hater. So we always have random family get-togethers, and so that's exactly what we did. And it was a lot of fun. It was cool to get together. It's cool to get pictures with everybody. So, I was flooding timelines all weekend. And so, I did that and came back in, and I spent Memorial Day at work. So I cooked for my kids at work, and that was that. What about you, Lauren? What you do?
My little cousin had a birthday party. He turned 20. It was a small government approved gathering.
Okay.
No one hugged each other. It was weird not hugging my aunties on the way in or out. It was super weird. But, we still made it work. You know what I mean? And he got a chance to get celebrated for, his day.
Aw.
That's cool.
That's a milestone.
Yeah.
Stepping off into your 20s. Leisha, what you do?
Man, just normal, a whole bunch of grilling. And I don't know if people know or not, like, I'm into all that, like, grilling and smoking meats and doing the whole thing. So that's what I
So
did.
you out here soaking meats?
Hey,
Is that how you feel?
You had to get him back for that.
Right.
Last week.
Yeah, though. She had to jab back, though. It's all right, though. She don't get none of my meats. It's all right. There's no meats for me. It's all right.
Sorry, bro. It's all right.
Alicia, what you do?
I went to a cookout on Sunday. It was not government approved. There was more people there than expected. But
Governor
touched nobody. Huh?
Governor
it was outside. We were all outside. The kids was outside. Everybody was outside. What you mean? We wasn't in the house. We weren't in enclosed spaces. We were outside. We was out back. We roasted some marshmallows and drank some crump juice and.
Might as well start gearing up for another host already.
Yeah, well.
He gone.
Yesterday we went to my sister's house. Kind of hung out, chill, let the kids play. But that one was government approved.
I'm over it for real. I'm over it.
You over the Rona?
I feel like, man, let's just take the L. Let's just exterminate as many people as possible. Like, just let the weak perish so we can get on with this shit.
Yeah.
I heard that.
What?
I heard what he said.
About how schools were gonna be when it's time for schools to be back in. Like, if it's gonna be the same, if they're gonna put any changes. I kind of feel like they just need to leave it the same. Because if you send your kid to school, you're taking that risk anyway. That's how I feel. And kids are kids. They're not thinking about a virus.
I feel just going outside in general, you're taking a risk. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, to each their own. Like, I know for me, I've known a lot of people that have had it.
Okay.
And I know that it's something that I don't want or have my daughter want my daughter to have. So for me, it's just, I'm gonna keep my distance, but that's nothing new for me though. So this quarantine is like perfect for me because I don't really deal with too many people anyways. Like, I got my select few circle people that I hang around, and that's about it.
I know for me, like, I still gotta go to work and be around people I don't want to be around anyway. So I might as well take the risk to be around folk I really would like to be around.
I feel you. What about you, Brandon? You ain't chiming on it.
Because even though I have an essential job working for the bank, I don't have to be around like actual people. Basically, I make sure the rich people continue to stay rich. I'm blessed to have a job, but like, I mean, that's what I do. Like, I make sure the rich stay rich. Like, they contact me now to make sure they're still rich.
Okay.
That's what it is. So I get to see the rich people staying rich, and they panic a little bit, but then I be like, "You still rich?" They be like, "All right, cool."
See, I work at a hospital, so I see a different side of it. So, and I work at, I work with the kids. So for me, it's different. Like dealing with these parents, and like the department that I work for, we work with, lungs and bronchial, and we work with all that good stuff. So everything that this virus attacks is what my department works for. So
you on the front lines.
Yeah. I'm not on the front line. I'm not gonna take that credit because I work from home now because my job consists of me working from home. But with the nurses and the doctors that I work for, they're on the front line, but my position is done from my house. So I applaud them because there were several people that I know of in my department that have had it. So
when are you working, or do you get to work from home, or?
No, I'm currently self-employed.
Okay.
I heard that.
Currently in the opportunity for improvement in the
I work. I'm an agent of the people.
Oh, for real. All right, so
get into our icebreaker.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at for real.
And is that you with the music on? I can't really hear you.
Yeah,
well, this one with the music on. I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna pause it. We'll add that later.
What you multitasking?
I'm always multitasking. That's the issue.
I can't get any closer to my computer to try to hear you.
Yeah, this close. Right here.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I want to know what your thoughts are on these versus battles. Some of the potential ones, some of the ones that have not happened yet. I've heard rumors of the Usher and Chris Brown one. Rumors of Eminem and DMX. Rumors of Keisha Cole and Ashanti. What's your thoughts on these rumor battles?
All right. Don't forget the T.I. versus 50 Cent. That's the last one.
50 Cent. I also heard something about T.I. versus Lil Wayne. So, and then I want to throw in also, because I would love to see one from Tony Braxton. And
we got to pause, though, because I know Lauren for a fact. I know that this guy right there is a whole fan of Lil Wayne. Like, he's all about it.
What's funny if you did this and Lauren ain't underneath you on my screen.
You know what I mean? On my screen, he's right there.
To the left.
So wait. So whether he's here, he's there.
Nah, he's like there for me.
All right. So that guy, whatever. All right, listen. Lauren, it's your time to defend Lil Wayne as to why we should tune in.
Well, first of all,
versus battle.
Wayne would have to go against somebody like Jay-Z. And the reason why I say that is because he just got too much music.
Yeah.
You might not appreciate what Lil Wayne does, but if you're a fan of Lil Wayne, if he goes against anybody other than somebody like Jay-Z or Eminem, somebody that has like a very huge catalog.
You mean somebody who has a different name for an album? Because he just keep calling the Carter like 7 and the Carter 14. It's gonna
when you're good.
You're gonna stop talking about my mans like that though, for real. Because I am a Lil Wayne fan. So you gonna stop talking about my man like that?
All right. So here what I'm gonna say though. All right. The same. I gave.
He got that fireman. That fireman.
Yeah, you're right. I gave Los the same challenge, right? I said, yo, I want you to put together. We'll do this. We'll start right here. Give me four lines, 4 bars by Lil Wayne. You gotta tell a story. Let's go ahead. Do the whole 4 lines. Go ahead. 4 bars that you were a big fan of.
There's one.
No. I asked you, Lauren. Stop. I asked. She said that's her man's though. That's like she know all the way. She knows it.
Alicia, you know there's one bar.
Hey, don't help her out. Listen, no, not one. Give me something though. Give me something where he tells a whole connected story in 4 bars though. This just 4. Just 4. Not even full measure. Sherelle knows this. Not even a full measure. Just 4 bars of Lil Wayne that tells a story.
I know all his music, but I don't know. So you're not gonna put me on the spot.
The excuses that happen from Lil Wayne's fans.
You're right. You ain't gonna talk about my fans like that though.
I am. Watch. Give me 4 bars. Just 4. Just 4.
He tells the story in shoot. I can't think.
You don't even know what is she. Yo, she trying to save you right now. Go ahead.
The whole song is a full story.
No. The whole no. You know what? You know who tells? You know who tells whole songs or full stories? Eminem, Jay-Z. Yo, even Grandmaster Flash.
If you
Grandmaster Flash tells whole songs.
Lil Wayne is, first off, he's very smart.
Yeah,
he's a very bright man. He's a lot brighter than most artists out here. Just because he's a little ratchet, don't mean that he ain't got the brains. But if you
sound like the people that want to like tell me that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
Every day of the week, bro. Every day. Don't play with me. Every day. Ron is where it's at. It's where it's at. It's where it's at. That's where Michael Jordan is where he used to be.
I'm just a kid from Akron too, so you're not coming for LeBron.
You're not gonna come for LeBron here, bro.
You know what? Unpopular opinion. I'm gonna do this. Tell me why LeBron can't make his own movie. He about to remake Space Jam.
It doesn't matter.
Google that.
And you know why he's remaking Space Jam? Because he's the new hottest thing. When Michael was out, Michael was there for the original because Michael was the new hottest thing. Now that LeBron is out here and he is the hottest thing out here, bro.
Yo, tell me right now. Can you tell me right now?
He's one I will come for. That's my boo.
Go ahead. Do it. So you're telling me that you're gonna are you gonna stand outside Foot Locker for 24 hours to get the new LeBrons?
To get the new LeBron, no, I don't need his shoes to rep him.
But people were doing that shit for Jordan though. Spike Lee ain't supporting LeBron. Spike Lee was supporting Jordan.
So look, Brandon's taking us off our topic.
I'm sorry, yo, because he really tried to come.
Can I go back?
Don't come for my girl.
Can I come back? Can I go back?
No, don't try to do that.
Lauren, weigh in on these potential versus battles. What do you think?
I feel like it's like I was saying, Lil Wayne would have to go up against somebody like Jay-Z, Eminem.
One of the best.
Might not like Lil Wayne, but I'm just saying it purely from the fact that his catalog is so big, his fans are going to want to hear. They're going to want to hear a lot of records.
Hit after hit.
We can't even do based on catalog. You know, catalog don't mean shit. Jackie Chan got a big ass music catalog.
Yeah,
look it up.
Nobody
look it up.
No,
forget that.
So then, what about these other ones I mentioned? Usher versus
Usher versus Chris Brown would probably be the favorite for me. I will watch that one.
Right.
You know, I definitely will watch that one. I would.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a really good one.
Comparable styles, very comparable catalog.
Well, Usher's
but out of those two, who do you think got the bigger of the hits?
Usher's catalog is way larger than Chris Brown.
You think Usher would win that one?
Oh,
you said, Lauren? You think so?
Hold on, wait. I don't know. Wait. We're talking about catalog though. You can't. All right, Terrell. You gotta make sure that it's because like discography is huge. Like Chris Brown got a big discography as well though. Like you talking about
He had a
catalog,
lot of hits. I mean, Usher had a lot of hits too.
Not even just hits. We talking about discography. We're talking about music made that's been recorded and published. Like that's different. Chris Brown and Usher got both of them. Got a lot of music made.
How much timeless material?
Since the 90s.
Right.
Chris Brown cannot touch
it. Okay, wait. You say you can't touch it. I want you to name an Usher. Wait, name an Usher song. Not even a hit. Name an Usher song in the past 5 years.
Usher just came out with a song. He got a song right now called Sex Beat. It's on the radio right now.
Which radio? Not my radio.
Oh my God, that just came
Not
out.
my radio. Whose radio is this on?
Sirius XM. Sex Beat. He got Ludacris in Sex Beat right now.
What's the record with
Wait. So what? All they missing is Lil Jon.
Huh?
All they missing is Lil Jon. You said they got Usher and they got Ludacris. Where's Lil Jon at?
Lil Jon might be in there. I can't remember. I only heard the song maybe about 2 times, but Sex Beat just came out. Usher's been doing a lot of crossover music. Plus, he just did the song with Ella Mai, "Don't Waste My Time," which I love. Like Usher's been staying. He got a song with Summer Walker that's on the radio right now. Come through, like
whose radio?
Sirius XM.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Did that conspiracy crushing?
Here's Sex Beat.
Yeah, he's been making music.
Here's Sex Beat right here.
Who else is in it? Luda, Usher, and who else?
Ludacris, Lil Jon, and Usher.
There you go.
Oh, the magical trio.
Sex Beat.
Sex Beat. The other one?
Yeah, here it is.
How's that looking though? Is that on the top 100? It's not.
Don't Waste My Time is a hit to me.
And it ain't on the billboards at all.
But you know what? When it came out, that's when the quarantine, everything just got started. Like them promoting it was really at a standstill. So I don't know if we can.
What? So they promoted it while people were in the house and they couldn't get it done?
No, I'm just saying like that song's a hit. And if the summer, if we were all out and about like normally and it could be played out and about. Because if you're sitting in the house, how often are you really bumping brand new, spanking new music?
Oh, don't even ask me because you know I am.
You might be.
You know I am.
You're a DJ.
All day.
You're a
right.
DJ. The average person is going to their go-to stuff.
Because average people suck, man.
Hey. Yeah, because I bought my, my 90s, early 2000.
I do that. Hold on. Thing is though, so all right, my frustration. This is my own personal gripe with this situation. Is you're right. You lump your 90s and your 2000s. I have too. Every single syllable, every word of every song that was ever a hit or a non-hit. I do the side A and side B of every vinyl, whatever. But as soon as something like this happened right now with the quarantine, like what's being bumped right now? Like you got stuff for Sherelle's right. Like people are releasing music every Friday. Every Friday is the big music release time, and like it's just not being supported. You know who's being supported? Like Tekashi 6ix9ine, which we discussed last time.
Twerk music is too. If you got twerk music, then you're in there. The rappers is always gonna bump the twerk.
I don't know though. You know what? What's considered twerk music? Because if you are a professional telling a twerk to like Barry White, if you really want to twerk to something, you can twerk to anything.
They're not twerking to Barry White typically, but they are twerking.
I'm so mad.
They are twerking to Stand By Me though. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that remake?
Yeah, I did. That's they are. Yo. Benny King, Stand By Me. Yeah, I know who did it.
Why would they do it? Why would they do it to that?
Why not though?
No. Okay.
Stand By Me while I twerk it. That's the rest of that.
I kind of feel like Braxton should go against Anita Baker in a versus.
Tony Braxton and Anita Baker? Okay. All right. All right. Before I say anything, what is your opinion on Anita Baker?
Well, I think Anita Baker is the GOAT, period. But I would love to see them do more like a Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, showing love to each other kind of thing.
All right.
Did Tony Braxton got the records?
Huh?
Did Tony Braxton got the records?
Tony does got some records.
Mm-hmm.
How many records she got, really?
Well, you know what? It depends on what breast size she's at, because she went from flat chested to big breasted. So it depends on which level of Tony Braxton you're talking about.
This just took a left.
Like, typically the verses, they play like 20 records, right?
Yeah, and Tony Braxton definitely has 20 records. So does Anita Baker.
Got 20 records?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now, I got a question. Got a full-out question. This is for Sherelle. Here's a question, though. For Anita Baker, you can't tell me she don't yawn on the track, though. She's a yawner. She yawns.
I don't know that I would say that, but I think that
really? Let's do it.
Why are you shaking your head?
If Anita does that, so does Tony.
I didn't say that Tony didn't. Oh yeah, Tony has a lower timbre. That's cool. You're right. But you can't tell me not one Anita track she don't yawn on.
That's her signature sound.
Yawning is her signature sound.
Yes, that's what makes her what she.
That's what makes records.
She likes to sound like a she pulls it all together, kind of like a horn. She has a raspy. I like it. I don't care what she says.
You like okay.
Hater.
Now hold on, wait, pause. I want to make this clear.
What?
I like Anita Baker. I love her band. I love the writing. I love the sound. But you cannot deny that she don't sound like someone who's talking while they're yawning.
But
that's
I
the
feel
situation.
Like she sounds the same.
Who?
I feel like Tony sounds the same.
Tony sounds like, Tony sounds, if you listen to this, and this is for a lot of artists for LaFace Records, they sound just like Babyface, but they have a different voice to it. If you listen to it, you can always hear a LaFace record because it sounds like Babyface singing it.
Yeah, of course.
Every time.
That's what I want, because Brandon, you have mimicked Anita Baker. I want you to mimic how Tony Braxton sounds.
Really though? You can't imagine. You can tell me you can't imagine Tony Braxton singing Day and Night by Babyface? You can hear it. You know what? I want to do this. We should do a separate podcast where we play both Tony Braxton songs and Babyface, and tell me you can't sing the hair thing, same thing on both sides.
Can I chime in one time?
What's the entertainment of you doing it right now?
Right.
Yeah.
She wants me to sing right now.
I wanted you to do it right now. I wanted you to sound like Tony Braxton, because you did it what Anita Baker does. I was only.
You want me to hear me whole 7 whole nights and all that now?
You got to do it with the airy, breathy yawn.
No, the yawn ain't there. The yawn is not there at Leo. For real?
The yawn.
Anita Baker needs some no-dos.
The yawn.
Anita Baker needs some caffeine. Anita Baker needs to wake up. I like Anita. I do. You can't, she got classics. I think they're awesome. But you cannot deny the fact that she don't sound like she yawning on every track, though.
You cannot deny the fact that you're being a hater right now.
No. You know what? I will be a hater as long as you realize for the rest of your life you're gonna hear the yawn in every Anita song. You will. I will be. I'm a hater. I will say that on Anita. On Anita Baker.
Well, we got 6 minutes for our icebreaker. So, what do y'all think about Eminem and anybody?
You know what? I just thought about something else though. I feel like Lil Wayne could go against Drake. That would be entertaining.
That would be entertaining. That would be. I don't think, because I don't out why T.I. thinks he should go against Wayne. I don't see that at all.
T.I. and 50 Cent.
On some like Ultimate King of the South type stuff, maybe.
But
it's T.I. and 50 Cent. T.I. and 50 Cent are going against each other. Out of the two, I like T.I. over 50 Cent.
50 Cent don't really got no records, really.
That would be
one,
I guess, because
he could play the whole "Get Rich or Die Trying" and like that's like 24 records right there.
So he gonna die trying. That's all right.
I can't say 50 Cent.
Yeah, I mean, if he just start pulling out "Get Rich or Die Trying," "How to Rob an Industry Jigger," you know what I mean, like a couple of
out of those two, I'm a much bigger T.I. fan than I am 50 Cent.
Yeah, for sure.
What about Brandy and Monica?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm with that one.
All right, so vocally it's gonna be Monica. Brandy doesn't have a range.
No,
but they got
disagree with
they got records though.
Brandy don't have a range though. She don't have a range.
Brandy can
now, Sherelle.
She can sing low.
When did she ever do that? When does that ever happen?
Let me tell you, Brandy can sing high and she can sing very low. If you
did Brandy give you like personal like music sessions?
Well, let me
because she don't.
She's been my idol since I was a kid. Like me and Brandy are here.
Yo, do you know that Brandy's the reason why dude from Immature don't have an eyeball? He had to have a whole patch. Yo, I ain't with it.
She was dating Wanye.
I don't care who she dating. She the reason why. Yo, look it up right now. Yo, remember Immature, right? Immature. We have Batman and Romeo and the other dude. The dude with the eye patch. She scratched his eye. Not that it's related. I'm just saying, like Brandy.
I don't believe that.
She doesn't. She doesn't have a range. She has no range, bro. Like listen, like sitting up in my room. No, she don't.
She absolutely has more range than Monica. If you listen to Monica, Monica's an alto. Monica sings almost every song within the same few keys. Like
if Monica's at alto, Brandy's at Elmo, man, whatever. Like,
you're a hater.
No, she don't got no range.
Have you ever heard Brandy's low range? Like how low Brandy can really sing?
That's all, yo.
Monica never goes that low ever. Monica never travels that low, and Brandy can hit some higher notes than Monica.
On what album? On what planet you talking about?
So on 7-Eleven, Brandy sings the low runs that she does throughout that entire album are fire.
The low ones. You said low. I said high. What high notes has Brandy hit?
You ain't let me finish.
Whether she was a virgin or not, what high note she ever hit?
I'ma send you some stuff. Let's just go there.
Send me some stuff. Because
is there anybody that could go against Beyonce?
Dead or alive?
I'm talking obviously alive.
What about Rihanna?
I would say so.
Not to say that Rihanna would beat Beyonce in any.
She just got the records.
But
all right. So Beyonce versus Rihanna, like our Instagram would be a hit. Like it'd be humongous.
Oh yeah, it'll be shut down. You won't be able to get on it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, for real. Let somebody say that Rihanna's better than B. The Beehive is gonna tear that shit down.
All right, so hold on. All right, are they gonna tear her up because of vocal talent or because of entertainment value?
It's because
there we go.
Okay, thank you for telling me.
Because the Beehive will come for you.
Okay, be careful.
Oh, Rihanna, good job, Rihanna. Oh, I like that song, Rihanna. I'm telling you. Beehive is gonna clink, clink, lock that down. Find you, stab you, take all your money.
She got all the support.
Right. She got the Beehive.
Has Versus been, do y'all feel like Versus is kind of being, like, should we be adding Stevie Wonder and Earth, Wind & Fire and like
I would love that. Yo, imagine doing that, though. That'd be spectacular. You know what? Let's do it between artists that aren't going to be here much longer.
Okay, so only person who could go against Stevie Wonder might be like Smokey Robinson. Who else could really go? Because who got the hit?
And even though I have my opinion on Smokey, I would approve that one. I approve that.
I got my opinion on Smokey.
I think Earth, Wind & Fire could go with him.
Who?
Well, who?
Stevie.
Man, Stevie got hits, man. He got so many hits. I don't know if anybody else has as many hits as he does.
He also got a whole lot of flops.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like, shit, I might be reaching, but maybe Paul McCartney.
Yo, you about to put Stevie versus the Beatles?
That might be.
Stevie might have look, Stevie might have to go against R. Kelly.
So here's my issue with that, though.
I only say that because R. Kelly has so many hits and Stevie has so many hits. That's the only reason why I say
they do. But you're going to have those idiot people be like, yo, I don't know who the Stevie dude is.
Versus is canceled.
R. Kelly is about to put Stevie on the map. I bet you there's going to be.
Hey, yo.
They're going to be mad. They're going to be mad stupid. No, because I'm never going to forget when.
Hey, you know who's alive that could match hit for hit with Stevie Wonder is Beyonce.
What?
Beyonce got a lot of hits too.
You add in Destiny's Child stuff.
Are you kidding me? Stevie started when he was like 14 years old. Like
if they kept it to 20 records, Beyonce could go hit for hit with Stevie Wonder.
If you put restrictions on it, sure. What the fuck are you talking about? If you kept it like, you know.
What you mean? Like that's.
So you know what? Fine. You know what? Here, Lauren. Here's what I'll do for you. How about this? Fine. Keep it to 20 records. How many instruments has Beyonce played on her albums?
All of them.
What drugs are you smoking?
Because she paid for them shits?
Because she paid for them. Oh, you're going with the weave defense. It's my hair because I bought it. No. Stevie plays Stevie plays more instruments than y'all know about. He plays the saxophone. He plays so much shit.
Throw my girl in there. Throw my girl.
Y'all got this whole music thing.
I can't hear
anybody. Your computer's still working.
All right. So here's the issue. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing though. Like, I completely respect Beyonce for her singing ability because she's underestimated sometimes that for her performance and entertainment value.
I think she's a great entertainer.
She's a great entertainer.
I think she's a great entertainer. Like,
but as a
her
musician,
vocals to me are not up on the level of some other artists. I'm sorry.
I've seen her.
Lauren always looks at me like I'm crazy when I say that, but I feel that her vocals don't got
right.
her entertainer.
So, I saw her live. Have y'all saw her live? Have any of y'all saw her live?
I have. I've seen her in concert
crazy, bro.
Like about 2 or 3 times. Beyonce is a freaking beast.
Beast.
All right, you know what? Hey, so guess what? Hold on, wait a second. I'm gonna tell you this though. I want you to look this up, Sherelle. If Beyonce is a beast, Prince is a beast master. Here's the reason why I say this.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, wait. If you they do a duet together. They have a concert together. Prince is performing. Beyonce can't keep up.
Oh,
It's a really interesting dynamic. It kind of throws you off. You're like, it's Beyonce. She's Queen Bee. She's on this concert with him, and she looks like a backup singer. Well, it's ridiculous. I'll have to find it.
Go. I mean,
so Sherelle, I already know how Lauren feels. Sherelle, you think that Beyonce's vocals are up there with everybody else's?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. I'm gonna tell you why. Beyonce's range is outrageous. She can sing whistle notes all the way down low, very, very low. Her runs are very crisp, clear, and unique. She can fake being a powerhouse. She's not really a powerhouse. She fakes it and fakes it very well, though.
So your defense is that she's faking it.
No, what I'm saying is Beyonce. what I'm saying is Beyonce is very, very versatile. So she can sing a million styles. So even though a certain thing might not be her niche, she can still step out there and stand with the best of them in it not being her niche. So she can do she can do opera. She can She can do powerhouse singing. She can do country. Those 3 things are her niche, but she can still stand up there with the best of them and kill it. We know that ain't her thing.
So here's my issue with this, and I can stand alone on it. Beyonce has the skill to pull off all the things you mentioned. The skill. She does not have the feeling or the background to do so. And my proof is this.
I feel that.
I agree, but that's why exactly what I'm saying. You just reworded it.
She got the skill, like, for real. When she did Cadillac Records,
very talented. But everybody, I feel, and this is just unpopular opinion for me, because I feel that with her, like, I feel that there are a whole heck of a lot better singers than she is. I'm not taking away from the girl's talent. I think she's very talented. And I love Beyonce. Don't get me wrong. I am up there with everybody with the whole, I think she's a great entertainer. But as a person who's not really music inclined like y'all do music, y'all listen, y'all do whatever. But as an outsider listening and having a variety of music that I listen to, I feel she can't. I think she don't stand alone.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
No!
Let me run it. Let me jump in. I want to make a clear point. So see, I equate a lot of stuff to sports, right? And there be times where sometimes you make stuff look too easy, and you do stuff so effortlessly when you play a sport that people will say, "Oh, you don't dunk as powerful as this guy, or you don't dribble as good as this guy, or your shots not as clean as that guy." But that's because that's their trick. That's their parlor trick. But when you're Jordan or Bron, sometimes people will overlook how dope you are at doing everything because you make it look far too easy.
Yes.
Hey, Lauren.
That's not what I'm saying at all with her.
Like Beyonce,
I'm not saying not even a little bit with her.
I'm saying all the way, Beyonce has the skill to do it. She can hit notes. Here's the difference. And it was very apparent when Beyonce played Etta James and Cadillac Records. She sung the songs well. She hit the notes, and boom, she does not have the feeling. And that was what makes music what it is.
Right.
There's a difference between between skill and passion.
Right.
There's a difference. Like, for instance, people will argue that Mary J. Blige can't sing. Well, Mary J. Blige is a passion singer. She's not a perfectionist. Beyonce's a perfectionist. There's two different.
Whoa, pause. Mary J. Blige was awesome when she was on drugs. When she got sober, it was horrible.
Wait. I feel as though Mary. A lot of people don't think that she can, but she's a passion singer. Fantasia is a passion singer. Now, if you try to put them in pop, they can't do what Beyonce can do. So it's
you're right.
Who you
everybody has their talent, and I feel for me, when I look at Beyonce, when everybody looks at her as entertainer and singer, I feel that her entertainment skills are a whole heck of a lot better than her singing skills. That's just me. That's me.
All right. That is a very valid point.
That's my unpopular opinion.
No, that's a very valid point, because when people say, hey, you know what? When it was the big Prince versus Michael thing, Michael Jackson is a better entertainer, but if you go pound for pound on skill level, Prince beats him. He has a wider range. He plays way more instruments than him. Everything else, but entertainment value wise, Michael's going to bring it a little bit more than Prince. Their entertainment is different than necessarily having a vocal or a musicianship to it. Example being, Luther Vandross didn't do shit entertainment wise. He stood there. Luther stood there and commanded the crowd with his talent. He was awesome, standing in one place.
Same with Whitney. That tone was captivating enough.
Right.
By itself. And that, I try to use those extremes to show people there's a difference. Like, you can have a commanding talent that kills.
Right.
and not necessarily being considered an entertainer. People like Michael Jackson, Beyonce, they're entertainers. Their experience is what makes them.
Right. I love Beyonce concerts. I love watching her perform. I wish I could dance like her, but I can't. I know I can't. That's cool. But that's just me. That's my unpopular opinion on things. A lot of people put Beyonce up on the stool, but I look at it different. I look at the whole person as a whole. And like I said, her entertainment wise, be honest with you, to be completely honest with you, if Beyonce could not sing, she would still be killing it because her the way that she entertains is amazing. Like people go to see her just to see what she's gonna do,
right?
Like, to see what
the entertainment.
Well, Alicia, your opinion really isn't that unpopular. A lot of people feel that way. I think though that Beyonce is the singer's singer, because there are things that she can do vocally.
Yeah.
That I've heard and seen in person. And
there's a video that breaks down just how good she is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the video and put it in the chat. But literally, it talks about what Cheryl was saying about how she has the capability to hit like 7 different ranges. You know what I mean? Like
She doesn't. Prince is only 5, and she can't do 7. She cannot do 7. You know what 7 is? I'll put it 7 octaves. Sherelle, you know what this means? 7 octaves.
They broke it down to 7, bro.
If then she's an alien. The fuck does that? I don't think you understand.
She's definitely not of this world, bro. She's
7 range.
Animal, bro.
Yo, listen to me on this one, right? 7 octaves, right? Ranges, 7 octaves.
Hit my T.
That is, an octave is 8 notes. Talking about 7 of those. The piano is only 88 keys.
They said 7, bro.
Then they're fucking wrong. Like, I don't think you understand.
That's what they said, bro. What can
7?
I say? What can I didn't make it.
That's music theory. So a lot of people won't understand that. Anyway, we gotta move on to our main topic, y'all.
Do we have to?
I've been waiting on this one. It's juicy.
We got to.
Before we go to the main topic, I want to ask one question real quick.
Can I ask one question real quick? But Alicia, what you were saying is not an unpopular opinion. A whole lot of people feel that way about her.
Yeah, the whole.
Would y'all watch the verses that has that would feature a DJ or maybe another artist playing Michael and Prince versus each other?
That's been done. Yes, I would.
Yes. Heck yes. I sure would.
Yeah, I don't think that would. Okay, I was just wondering if y'all thought that would be corny.
No, man. Especially if it's like one DJ in favor of like Michael or Prince. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like Questlove.
You know what? I gotta share with y'all. There was someone who came up with a set list. Well, an idea for a set list. And what it was a mashup album. It was called Dirty Diana's Red Corvette. And they were supposed to do this mashup of Michael and Prince. And it wasn't a real album. And they had a whole set list, and I put it together. So I'll share it with y'all, whoever else wants to do it, where they just share Michael and Prince. Now, you got to be real Michael or Prince fans to really get into it, because they're not all like the hit songs from either one of them. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely something I would get into. If 2 DJs want to do it. If another DJ wants to do it, and they want to have me be Prince or Michael, I can do it. If somebody, I challenge whoever DJ would do it. Fine, I'll go ahead and take either side of that battle. That's cool. We can do that. But that'd be a great mashup.
Got a main topic.
All right, Sherelle, come on with the main topic, girl.
So the main topic is Boosie.
Who?
Very popular rapper.
For who?
Was on social media, and he was bragging about hiring a woman to give his son oral sex for his 12th birthday.
in 2017, but it's been a topic recently. Yeah.
Oh, this happened 2017?
2017 was the initial post happened, but recently it's been a topic of discussion.
Because people ain't got nothing else to do. Slow
news. Yeah, definitely in the slow news season, but it's been a thing because it's resurfaced. There's a lot of elements to this. There's a lot of elements that I don't think everyone realizes.
And give us the first element that we're going to talk about.
Okay, so all right. Well, actually, I'm gonna give y'all a choice. So it's gonna be one, the appropriate age for sex. So we're talking about what's considered consent, being an adult. How old is it? Because he lives in his residence is registered in Louisiana. In Louisiana, 17 years old is the age for consensual sex. But what does the little kid say?
I'm sorry.
My kid is that? Your kid chiming in?
Yeah, he said he wanted to show me.
Perfect timing. He's like, I think. All right. So there's that. There's the whole age thing. But then there's also the argument as to the prostitution element as well, or child endangerment. So should prostitution be legal? Is that a legal thing? Should that be an issue?
I count that as child abuse.
But we got to narrow this down.
Yes. So
So the first thing you mentioned was this age, and it's for sex in general.
Yes. So my thing is, I feel that nowadays is different than when we were growing up. Sorry, but it's like I look at it as these kids are younger and younger, learning about things that they shouldn't know about. Like,
are you sure?
Yes.
The reason why I asked that is because before our age, let's say it was 2 centuries ago, when
I know where you're going with this, but that was you have to understand, like back then, that was you were still taught about it. You were taught about it, but there, like at that time, all they did was just move the age. That was it. So, like the way that you would typically do it, like for instance, like get married and start having kids and stuff. All they did was move that from like 12 to like
all right. So, but all right,
stuff back then. You gotta remember.
You can't discount that though, because if you were viewed as being an adult at 13,
right? But that was a different era. That was an era of they had to marry off because they already got 14 kids in the house. Like, you gotta go. You gotta start making some money of your own. Like, I can't keep you till 18. Like, I don't got enough money to feed you. Or whoever you marry gotta start bringing money into our household. Those are different things than nowadays. That you don't see kids being married off or stuff like that no more. Like, the circumstances were different. Their kids are in school now. Back then, you stopped going to school at what, 6th grade? Not even. You were in school to learn just how to read and write. That was it. And then you went home and you plowed the fields or did whatever you were doing. You were helping out your family. Nowadays, that's different.
So you're telling me at 13 and 14, you're ready to take care of family, and now we've kind of gone backwards.
Oh, but you got to realize that these 13, it was girls. It wasn't boys. It was girls. It
was everybody. Bar mitzvahs are for 13-year-olds. It's saying you are a man now.
But no, that's back then. That wasn't considered being a man. You weren't married
off. At 13, you were, and then now it's still considered that in the Jewish holiday.
Women. As soon as you got your period, as soon as you were at that age of able to have babies, you were somebody's asset. You were an asset to somebody because you got to make these babies to help our family. So
biologically, you're a woman. You're saying that mentally, socially, that you're not.
But you're missing it. At that age, they were grooming them. You were being groomed from the time of birth. Now that is not being groomed anymore. That all it is now, there are stages of life that you go through. first being you're an infant, you're a child, whatever, and then you start going to school, then you're in school age, and then you go to high school, you go through that, and then you start working your way up to becoming an adult. Before, there were no boundaries there, because that's you have to take it back to where they started coming up with these child labor laws. You understand that dogs had more rights than children did before. So you got to realize, like, they just started looking at this a while ago as that being child abuse. Why? Because you're growing up, and then you they ran into that era of everything being messed up during the war, when they were sending all these boys and men off, and these young girls that have these babies don't have no knowledge, don't have no nothing. So they're sitting there with all these kids. Their man is dead.
All right, so I'm not, all right, first I'm going to say this. I'm not saying this is my personal opinion about things or my own personal thought about stuff. I'm just playing devil's advocate to this. So.
Camera.
Who's camera? Mine?
Lauren.
What happened?
You typing?
No, I'm sorry. I'm cool.
You got to mute your audio.
My bad.
All right, so just playing devil's advocate, it sounds like from what you're saying, is that we haven't prepared young people the way we used to for adulthood.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, as far as kind of what Alicia was saying, I don't want to go there and say that we haven't groomed kids for adulthood, but I think that as humanity evolves, we are just naturally going to correct things about our society.
Right.
And I think that there was a time where we were less evolved and we did things based more off of Mother Nature and how the menstrual cycle was working and stuff like that. Because the menstrual cycle, more than like if you really get into how the menstrual cycle helped us create mathematics, like it's in a very important cycle in just humanity, period. So, like, you know, a lot of stuff is based off the menstrual cycle and like lunar activity and stuff like that. But as we get evolved and we start to get into psychology and people start to realize that the mental capacity for people isn't developed until you get to about 25. I mean, just as a species, we're going to do things in a more sophisticated way. And with that being said, I don't think any child should be exposed to sex before they're ready. But even if we're not even adding the equation of sex, I think that a child should be allowed their innocence for as long as they need to have it. Amen. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be an infancy, a childhood, an adolescence. Like, I think that's important for human development. Like,
I totally agree. I think another thing we didn't talk about yet was culture. I mean, Alicia, you kind of touched on it in a sense, but culture and trauma. Like, it was the norm for families, like you said, to start out at a younger age to produce and create other families, and that was the goal. That was what was going on in society. And so that being a traumatic experience then would be different from a child doing that now. Right. In the climate we're in now and the way society is now. Like that was the expectation in everybody.
And I'm gonna say too, Sherelle, that we should not discount that there was trauma then.
No, I'm not at all.
Human beings are
different. It's not, if that's the way society's being ran and everybody's doing that, then the experience may or may not be as traumatic as if I'm 12 and this grown woman did this to me and nobody else has experienced this. I don't even know if I want this, you know, that kind of a thing.
All right, wait. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna pause that.
Oh, yes. Come on, Mister.
I'm gonna pause that because, and I'm sure there are some outliers to this situation, but at 12 years old, to have the opportunity to have someone give oral sex to you is probably not some foreign, undesirable thing for most males in America.
Right.
And you have a situation where a father is telling you, hey, look, for your birthday, I'm gonna make this happen. When statistically, at 12 years old, you have at least started puberty, where it's not an ew, she got cooties. It's not a thing. That's not where we're at 12. That is not where we're at 12. I haven't met anyone, spoke to one, read anything where at 12 years old, like, the interest of that hasn't started. And you have cultures where at 13 you're a man, you're a whole man at 13 in some regards. Puberty wise or sexual interest wise, like, the thought has been started. Now, I definitely agree that there's definitely some cultural things that are associated with this as to when you're taught when things should start, as to when you're taught how to handle it, how to perceive it, how to receive it. That has started, but the physical desire, I feel, by 12 has at least started.
The reason
and
why
I don't want that disregarded in this conversation.
Nah.
Yeah,
okay, this is what I'm gonna say. When I was 12,
it depends on
the wait. Let me ask you. So, Brandon, what you're saying is that at that 12-year-old age, that's what he wants, even though it may not, you know, and you don't have to necessarily go buy it or find it, but at that age, you start wanting those things. Is that what you're saying?
The curiosity,
right?
The desire has started. Of course, by that point in time in this country,
right,
because of culture, you may not know the implications of that. You may not know the finesses that go with that. There's a lot of things you may not mentally know what goes with what Boosie was doing for his son, but the physical desire has started.
Maybe. We don't know about. Right. We don't know. We didn't give him that kid the opportunity to be a kid or to have that experience for himself,
or even know what these feelings are.
Now, I do believe the majority are.
Right.
I do believe the majority are, but not every kid is thinking that way. And if that particular kid is not, if sex was the farthest thing from his mind, or he's scared or whatever.
But why?
I think the reason why I don't like it too is because Boosie makes it seem as if the way he approached it was like shaving or teaching your kid how to groom themselves. Right. That's nowhere near the way that you need to be introducing your kid. He made it almost seem as if he bought these condoms that were toiletries, and his kids are going to go use the bathroom on these women. That's basically
all right. So I don't know how much y'all read on this topic, though, but Boosie said, this is a quote, that Boosie said that at 14, 15, sex is popular. Now, I have a lot of issues with that phrase, but he said at 14, 15, sex is popular, so, whatever. That's not the way to approach this. I don't think he prepared his kid for that moment.
My whole thing is this.
At all?
I look at it completely different, because working with kids before, kids are going to do what they do, period. And I have a personal opinion about this. Now, if he had that experience on his own, then that's his own experience. He created that experience for himself. He wanted it. He went and got it, whatever. He created that, just like, we all have to come into our own sexuality. We all have to come into what we like, what we don't like, how we like it, whatever, me talking about.
But when do you start that journey is the question.
You personally go through that yourself. It's not for anybody else to make those.
Exactly. I don't think nobody should be holding your hand.
Nobody else should be making those sexual encounters for you. Or
I think at 12 years old,
those sexual encounters for you. Did somebody do that for you, Brandon?
But hold on. Now, at the same time, though, the way y'all said that, people shouldn't start that journey for you, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so again, playing devil's advocate, is someone allowed to also tell you when to not start that journey?
No, the kids are going to. Kids are going.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because
it's a difference between talking to somebody about something that goes on in life and creating an experience for somebody. At 12 years old, that you should be talking, if you have not already, you should be talking to your child about sex.
Now, you're right. You should definitely be preparing them for that decision.
Let me finish. You should be talking to him about sex. You should especially be talking to him about
her.
Wait a minute. You should especially be talking to him about consent. You know, you need to be opening their minds to these
all the way.
And whether they want to do it and how to do it responsibly. Now, creating this environment for them to do it in and making the situation happen before they may be ready is not okay.
Right.
It was all the way.
Okay, so wait. So let's say you've been preparing your child. And at 12 years old, 13, 14, they say, you know what? I'm ready to get a head from a woman. Are you be like,
my child said that to me? As a parent, I'm going to say, I don't want you to do that. That's not what I want you to do. But it's not but if you go out and do it, I can't stop you. I can't be with you every step of everything. All I can do is prepare you for what's coming. That's me as a parent. I'm doing my job. I am preparing you. I am telling you, do I want you to do it? No, I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you I don't think you're ready for it. But regardless of that, kids are going to find a way to do stuff that they want to do, period, across the board. Every kid does it. So as a parent, I'm not going to create that space for you, meaning, and I'm not judging all parents. If you do that, you do it. But what I'm saying is my son is not going to have no girlfriend sleep over my house. You ain't creating no babies in my house. No, you ain't. So I'm not going to leave the space for you to be like, oh, me and my girlfriend's going downstairs. Why are the lights off? No, I'm not creating that space for you. That's not what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. So again, I want to say that. I want to ask this question because, I want to make sure it's clear that my personal thoughts and opinion and feelings are not necessarily attached to the question I'm going to ask you. So,
I'm curious.
You may not want to create that situation for you, but if you know your child is going to make this decision, would you want that decision to be in a safe environment or not?
No, absolutely not.
So you want to be in a dangerous environment.
The way that people
my heart wants it to be in a safe environment.
I'm looking at it as, okay, so my kid wants to try meth. Am I going to let my kid go and try meth out with his friends, or am I going to create that safe environment for them to do it in my house? Absolutely not.
All right, so here's the whole thing, though. If you know for a fact, let's go with that. If you know for 100% it is factual, your kid is going to try crystal meth all the way, they're going to do it. You're going to be like, you know what? Fuck your safety. I'd rather you do it somewhere that's unpredictable and more dangerous.
You're not doing
it. Brandon, the reason why it's irresponsible to think about saying a safe place is because you have created a safe place. You told them what your opinion was. You said that you told them that your safest place is abstinence at this point. So anything you do now is up to you. And I have created a safe space. I said, I told you that abstinence for you is your best bet. That's your safe space. Everything else now is a consequence unto you now.
Yeah, at that point, you're enabling the situation. You're enabling every consequence that you told your child about, you warned your child about. You're enabling and you're allowing this situation to occur.
Right.
I'm not with it.
Right.
So you want to condemn them to a worse situation.
All of the
if you create a head.
When they've made that decision, they've condemned themselves.
Amen.
Right. Okay. All right. So they've condemned themselves. So if something bad happens to them,
that's their fault.
That you may have been able to make a better situation.
You can't do that. You can't do that to yourself.
Really? You can't do what to wait. So now we're at a point doing to myself. So now it's a selfish situation versus my child.
You're laying too much. You are laying too much on yourself. If you have created a situation,
laying too much of myself for my child. There's not too much for myself for my child. What's too much?
If you have gone to the measures of creating an environment for your child that allows them to make rational, good decisions, and they decide not to, then you have to allow them the space to
endanger themselves.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, all right, straight away. I'm gonna ask you, Lauren. I'm gonna ask Lauren a question.
No,
where'd he go? Did he leave? Okay, he's back. Okay, so here's a question. Straight up question. If you know.
Before your question.
Yeah.
Brandon's playing devil's advocate here. Clearly.
I am.
But with this though, I don't know if you guys ever heard this saying, and I like to say it, you'll probably hear it again, but every villain is a hero within his own play. So in Boosie's mind, just like what Brandon's doing, in Boosie's mind, he is helping his son. He's preparing his son for manhood. He's doing good in the world. With this corrupt mindset and this corrupt situation, he really has figured out a way to justify what he is doing.
And he has, because he's taking control of a situation where normally a lot of parents don't have control of. And your kids.
That's not control. That's manipulation.
Thank you. And
you are satisfying an internal desire. You are living vicariously at that point. That's something
that he wanted.
Not only did you endanger your kid, you allow somebody to molest your kid. You also told your kid that women are commodities and that you paid them the right amount of money. They will perform sexual acts for you. That's all the way foul. He should have never did that. He should have never did.
As a woman, I look at him crazy right now, because for me to accept something like that, because now now his son looks at women as a sexual object. You're not teaching him properly. You're not teaching him.
All right, so wait, you're saying that as if he didn't do that, then the kid would not.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know how he.
I do think though, to be a man, you have to be a man, and he has to teach his son to respect women. That is unfortunately something that has to be taught. That is not something that men just have. Same with women. That's not something women just have.
But I also feel it's both sided though. You can't You can't leave it on just him though.
No,
I also think it's both sided.
I feel like you have to teach your child to respect the opposite sex and why it's important. But I do want to add in this. I think it's strange because this is not the first person that has done this. Baby got had a sexual situation happen for Lil Wayne. Usher went through the same thing. I believe Bow Wow went through the same thing. I feel like it's a strange fixation on these little kids' genitals, and them having, I feel like that fixation. Why are you? I don't know. When I think of a kid, I don't want to think of them with sex in any way, shape,
Exactly.
Weird.
Exactly.
Why do you have?
You're right. All the way, you are right. But see, the issue that we've had as human beings on this planet is the age that you are considered an adult. So if your life expectation is 45 years old, the age at which you're an adult is going to be a lot younger than it is right now, where you're 78 is your age, your life expectation. So you look back in our history, we're talking about, okay, you're at 12, 13 years old, and you're able to join the army, you're able to pursue any lifestyle you want because you're expected to die at 45. Then yeah, these decisions come a lot earlier. And whether or not we are preparing our youth for these decisions, that may be on us, but the issue we've always had is what age is considered the age of consent.
All right, you got. I think about it like this, yo. In my world, and I know sometimes people don't like me to say this like this, but in my world, there are weaker vessels. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like I put
yes, I do. I agree with that.
I put children in that condition. So if my son, God willing, he gets to be 12 years old, right? And he comes to me and he tells me that he's in love with a woman and that he consented sex with her. I'm going to believe that that's what he believed, right? He believed that he was in love to the capacity that he consented sex with a woman. But my son in this situation is the weaker vessel. I'm going to blame that woman for not having the self-restraint to allow my son the innocence, his right at innocence, and not allowing herself to take advantage of. And I'm also going to be saying to her, just because you can do something does not mean you should.
Right.
You
and at what? My question is though, at what age does that stop being an element to that decision?
When he is a rational adult.
So
if my son had
what is that number though?
Listen, there you can't place a number on that.
All right, so if you can't place a number on it, that could be 8 years old, that could be 27 years old.
No,
by that logic.
Some people who are even as an adult, like there are people who have kids, they are in relationships, they've had sex, they are not responsible enough to do those things.
All right.
Sorry,
right. But I agree with you all the way. Yeah. So what do we do with that?
I don't feel that there is a number that you should be like, oh, by the time you're 21, that you are good to go. I think you're good.
So then, by that logic, how do you tell a 14-year-old he's not ready to get head from a prostitute?
Okay, but what I'm saying is that 12-year-old ready for all the responsibilities of all that comes with that? Are they
because of what you just said? You said there is no number on it.
You're right.
He might be. Someone might be.
I said, but does that 12-year-old, him, that little boy, does he have the mindset of everything that comes with that? Does he understand what is going on?
He may not, but by what you just said, a 42-year-old person may not have the same mindset ready for that either.
Everybody's different. I've met, especially working with kids, I've met many kids that are 15, 16 years old that are very mature. They got that go-getter mindset. If they were out, they're going to.
So is the 15-year-old you met with that mindset had sex with a prostitute? You feel, you know what? They were able to make that decision on their own.
I can't say if they were ready for that. I cannot.
But that's what our discussion is about. That at this moment is about that mentality based on age.
Are you ready for sex?
Right now, yeah.
Are you at the mindset of understanding that comes with that?
Yeah, but like my decision on sex is based on experience.
So what did you come into that logic? When did you come into, when in your mind did you say, I'm ready to have sex? At what age did you say that? I'm gonna go and get me some.
All right. Wait, that's another. Those are two different questions.
No.
Those are two different questions. Because the age of I'm gonna give me some, and the age of I'm ready to have sex are two different situations.
At what age did you first feel that you were ready to have that encounter with a female?
That I'm ready to do it? This is a good decision?
Yeah. At what age did you say, you know what? I think I'm ready to have sex.
All right. So this is my personal.
No. I want you to give me a number. Don't give me an explanation. Give me the number. Give me the age of when you came into the conclusion that you were ready to have sex.
For me, at 6, and my readiness, not based on availability.
I didn't
not
ask
based on wants. I know you didn't. We're going to go ahead and clarify this. Not based on availability, not based on the want to, but based on, you know what? I think I'm ready to go ahead and dive into this with 16. But that doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't have a different thing.
I just wanted the number. After you had that first sexual encounter,
yeah.
How did you feel after? Like, did you feel like
you want my real answer? My real answer is what I've been waiting on.
Don't answer.
My real answer at that age was, what was I waiting for?
I'm trying to get to my point here. Did you understand everything that just happened?
No, of course you understand everything going on. But hold on. You don't understand everything going on right now, though. You can decide to invest in the stock market in your 20s, not understand everything until your 50s.
I'm not talking about
the same thing. That is not the same thing.
Right. I'm talking about the understanding. So if you at 16 didn't understand what you know is that you got what you wanted and you feel good doing it, and I'm gonna go get me some more because I like what I had. So now this 12-year-old boy in his mind is, you know what? That's what I wanted. I started all this stuff. I like that.
I would have had it.
I'm in it. Right. Yeah, now it's because we all know once we start having sex and get those sexual encounters, we want more and more of them because we like the way that we feel afterwards.
Being at 12 years old, that's Pandora's box because a lot of 12-year-old girls are not having sex. So now you open up that door for him to start trying to have sex with a lot of other kids his age or be sexual with a lot of other kids his age. But anyway, we gotta switch topics. We have not talked about the woman. What grown woman is wanting to have any kind of sexual experience with a child? It's so sad when you think
he said he paid her, so I'm not.
Right. So hold on. Now you're talking about if we're going in the context of prostitute, she's not invested in this because of any kind of investment, mentally, emotionally, anything else, other than she got paid to complete an act. So her interest is money.
I want to talk about a different aspect of women in this conversation because my whole thing is that the stigma that men get is because all I've been hearing is about, I've heard both sides to the story, and I'm hearing that well, men need, and I want my son.
Because men don't need. There's not a need.
But that's what he said. That's what Boosie said. I'm not going off of what I'm going off of what he said. He said he knows what his son needs. He's a man too. So my whole thing is this. Nobody wants to talk about how if this was a female, it would be a whole different conversation. It would be, what's wrong with him? He's crazy. T.I. probably would have beat him up because he's checking his
I definitely agree. There is a very double standard, lopsided view as to the development, desires, and choices that young women and women in general make in regards to sex. So I agree there is a double standard involved.
So can I ask you, would you be asking the same questions of what age of consent is good if this was a female getting her box licked by another male?
Yes. I have always, when it comes to age of consent, I have definitely asked on both sides about what that is. I don't feel there should be a double standard in regards to that. I don't feel that there should be this whole stigma that, oh man, men want sex more than women, where in my experiences and my conversations, it's pretty much equal. So yes, I don't like the double standards, whether it's in benefit or in decimation of men in regards to sex, because I feel that it is very much equal as between men and women as to their opinions and desires and activities in regards to sex.
That's because my whole thing is that more people would be so more out if it was a female that he paid a male to come and lick her. But
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
But my
that the reaction would be very different.
A lot more people are lax on this conversation. It's child abuse because it's a little boy, and they feel. And I'm not saying y'all, but I've been reading and looking and talking to people about this. I've been talking to people about this for a while because my whole thing is like, to me, it's crazy. This is child abuse. I don't care what anybody says. This is child abuse. You cannot tell me.
And then another thing too that I don't like is, okay, what if the little boy told Boosie, I ain't really like that experience, Dad. Now you a faggot, and you know what I mean, you gay, and you know what I mean, and well, you ain't no man.
You know what? It's odd. It's odd that you bring that up because Boosie talked about that in not so many words.
Well, yeah,
but he definitely brought that up. You know, because I've been reading articles on this situation with him specifically. But yeah, he brought that up as part of the thing. Like, he didn't want his kid to be a fag. He was actually bringing this shit up, and I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. This is extra. You're not letting your own son make his decisions or his development, his own journey and time frame.
Because if he didn't like it, if he thought the lady was ugly, if the lady slipped up and bit him, anything like that.
Bit him.
Whatever, any kind of traumatic, it could have turned into a traumatic experience, and it could have backfired and made his son gay, which is what he's ultimately trying to keep him.
And I'm looking at stuff spiritually too. It's just like, what if? I mean, she could have been fine. I mean, she could have been Beyonce, but like, what if the vibe? Like, you got the vibe of this creep woman in this creep situation, and you.
Daddy, she bit me.
You know what I mean? Like.
Like, you're supposed to like that, son. Like, excuse me? I'm supposed to like that? Well, I don't like that. What you mean? Like,
I don't like teeth.
Left. It would have went all the way left. But my whole thing is, it's not even that. It's more or less that I feel that he did all of this all based on Dwayne Wade's son.
No, because
wow.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing.
He been doing it.
That was a thing. That shouldn't have been a thing. It was like all the way, like, unrelated left field.
I honestly did. Even though, Sherelle, this may have happened prior to the whole Dwayne Wade's son thing, we don't know that because apparently Dwayne Wade's son's been like this for, like, I'm sorry, his daughter. I don't want to disrespect his daughter. This whole thing has been out.
His child.
For a while prior to it actually hitting for everybody to see. So a lot of people knew about his son transitioning to a girl. So I feel, this is just me personally, I feel that Boosie did this because of that. He's trying.
I feel like he did this. I feel like he did this not because of that situation, but try to keep his son from being gay or try to place some kind of control over his son's sexuality.
Because
I think Boosie used that. Boosie used that to deflect. I think he used the whole thing to deflect.
I don't think he deflected at all. I think he did this based on that. He was like, he looked at Dwayne Wade and he looked at the situation that's going on in his home and he said, I'll be damned if that's me. I'm going to go make sure that my son isn't gay.
But we got to remember, Boosie has a whole lot of kids. This ain't just one son. He got, this boy is 12, but he got a whole boatload of kids before this son and after this son. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, and the way that he spoke the loudest on that whole situation with Dwayne Wade, when he spoke the loudest, he made the biggest comments. He's out here acting crazy, talking about what he ain't and what his kids ain't gonna be and what they ain't gonna bring to him and what they ain't gonna do. That to me shows the control that he has. So for him to do something like this, it doesn't shock me that he did it, but it does make me look at him in a different light. It's like, you're really trying to sexually remove the gay out your kid if it's there.
I mean, I don't know. And I think too, it's just like he run the chance of potentially turning his kid into a man's arms because if this experience proves to be traumatic, and they start to develop mistrust for women because you know what I mean, like their first experience with a woman was a prostitute, like what? You know what I mean? Like that's just foul. Like
what if his son's friends think it's weird or nasty? Like, bro, you had that. Like, if he talked to the wrong friend, it might make him really feel weird about it. Or
not even weird, but feel nasty. It's like, ooh, bro, you know what prostitutes do? Ooh, prostitutes be out here with everybody. Like, could you imagine having that conversation at 12 years old? And it's like, damn, my dad bought me a prostitute, and she be doing that. And then
pick me.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So, and this is based on, of course, personal experience, and Lauren can jump in. I don't think that the conversation with his male friends is going to go in that direction.
It depends.
Yeah, he's probably not going to tell him there's a prostitute. And I think too, Brandon, there's like this notion, because when I was 12 years old, man, I just knew for sure I wanted to be with one of my teachers. But I don't know. You obviously don't know. You obviously don't know what you would be doing at 12 years old. And I know, because I've had questionable sexual experiences as an adult that make me feel like, dang, that was whack. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being 12, like, dang, that was, I don't know what that was.
So let me spin that for you, because as a female, if I know that you a dirty, nasty dude and you've been out here with all these nasty females, especially females I know that's been nasty, I don't want to touch you nor your little dang, because
you're right. But hold up, but that's not the mentality of everybody.
At 12 years old, if he wants to have another sexual experience with another girl, she can look at him and go, I don't want to be with you. Ew, you was with
but that can happen anyway. Like, whether he's famous, not famous, it can happen
anyway. But just think of you're a grown adult. You could get past that. But a 12-year-old in his mind, that's like you just crushed his whole world. Like, that's why these kids out here committing suicide, because they can't take the pressure of not being able to be accepted. That's when I'm
now, okay, again, devil's advocate, right? Let's do this.
Advocate, bro.
Let's do devil's advocate on this. Let's say you are a young female and your options are to be engaged with someone, like, engaged sexually with someone who has experience with other inexperienced people versus having experience with someone who is experienced. They may not choose the inexperienced other guys versus someone who has had experience with an actual experienced person. Your curiosity may say,
I'm confused.
You're all confused? Let's catch up now. All right, listen. All right. So, say you're a young female and you've been with some dudes that are inexperienced. You're like, man, this sucks. And then you're thinking, all right, well, there's little Boosie's son. He engaged himself with a professional, experienced person. He may be better than what I've experienced so far.
12 years old.
Brandon, you're basing that off the notion that because you've had encounters, you're experienced.
Right.
Don't mean you are.
You could have thousands of encounters and be
You're right.
Most trashiest person.
You know what? And you are correct. You are 100% correct. That could be the case. I'm not saying what will actually be a great experience. I'm talking about the logic behind the decision to be with Lil Boosie's son just based on the publicity of, well, he's been with a grown woman.
No.
Girls.
You are underestimating females.
Young girls don't even think.
Wait. I think you're overestimating people in general.
Young girls don't think like, ooh, I'm going to
him. I mean, I'm not putting all females.
Wait. Again. Yeah, all right. Young guys and young girls, they're not that much different.
Putting him on the face of Beyonce. Like, he's not Beyonce. Now, this was it Blue Ivy?
Blue Ivy? You saying Blue Ivy had a male prostitute to be different?
Blue Ivy, If it was Blue Ivy out here, I'm sure dudes were gonna be lining up for Blue Ivy just because of who her daddy and mama is. But Boosie though, Boosie.
So now we're talking about like the sexual appeal of like his genetics.
Wait, Boosie.
But that plays a role in that. But I need to change the subject, y'all. We got 10 minutes. That's it, because we are way over past time.
We done blew past the time period.
No fault, Brandon.
Talking about adolescent prostitution.
This whole night.
Y'all bunch of nasties.
No, it's your fault. We over time. So anyway, one last thing before this last thing, I want to mention that Boosie made mention that these kids are iPhone 11s because and they can watch all the Pornhub. His kids, they can watch all the Pornhub. While your kids are watching regular cartoons that's teaching them to be gay, his sons can watch all the Pornhub.
Wait.
Oh wait.
I must have missed this article. Why did you share this with me? He said regular cartoons make you gay.
Wait a minute. We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this part of the topic, but then we also didn't talk about the consequences of this situation. Last 10 minutes, we need to talk about those.
I'm sorry, this man is gross to me. Boosie to me anymore is anybody and everybody who knows and has been around kids, has kids, y'all know what their mind, they're like sponges, right. They absorb everything. Right. It's depending on what you put into your child is what you're going to out of your child.
Yeah.
I also agree that forcing someone through a journey is not the right way to approach anything. Sexual journey or anything else, like imposing your experiences in your level onto someone through their journey is fucked up. So, and it normally doesn't work out so well. And whether it's sexual or not, many parents do that, and it normally does not end up very well. Okay, so like certain things like education, like you need to study more, and you need to study like certain things maybe, but in general, pushing your agenda with their growth does not work out well, and normally does adverse effect when it comes to their development as a person. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the situations where him taking the action to put this he put it in place. It wasn't like his son came to him and said, "Hey, Dad, can you get me for my birthday? I want a prostitute." That's a whole different discussion than, "Hey, son, for your birthday, because you're 12, I'm going to get you a woman."
Yeah.
I don't even think I would have looked at it any different if, I don't know if, I don't know how to word this. I'm just going to say it. So if his son came to him and said, "Dad, I got this girl, she's into me, I'm into her, I think I'm going to go ahead and let her, what I'm saying, Dad, you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I'm going to give her $50, cool?
With his son, you got to respect her, son. Here's some condoms. You make sure that you, whatever. If he had that conversation with him and it was something that his son was encountering on his own and he just agreed with it, but he didn't set it up, I wouldn't look at him as bad as I'm looking at him right now.
You're right. You are right. Like his son may not have been on that level at all.
Right. Listen, y'all. We got 5 minutes. We need final thoughts. We talked about age. We talked about the grown prostitute. We talked about Pornhub and exposing and creating this situation. So, Lauren, you can start first. Final thoughts.
I just feel like my passion is a kid's innocence. Let kids be innocent for as long as possible. I love the imaginative nature of kids. I love the fact that they can. I just want them to develop fully. And I agree generally with what y'all saying about just like allow those kids to do the things that kids are going to do, mischievous or otherwise. Do not push them through it. Like,
Alicia.
My final thoughts on this is just that I don't agree with anything that he did in any aspect. I feel like Lauren said, like, you gotta let these kids experience things just like we've experienced things, and we've gone through we've had our growing pains. And I think a lot of it, goes into our society today. Kids don't know how to go and get their own, be their own person, do things for themselves because, their parents are trying to give them everything, and that's everything in their journey, in their life, everything. So I feel that definitely keeping that innocence and letting them go through things themselves.
B Mike.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. I slightly disagree with Lauren on this because I feel like we're never fully developed. I feel we're always learning something new. But in the vein of that, I feel that Boosie and any parent that's going to impose upon their child's journey where they are making very prominent decisions is too much. It's too much to do that. To impose yourself, your desires on your child without preparing them in a way that allows them to make their own decisions is just all the way a bad and wrong way to approach it. I feel that the difference between what he did and his kid asking about it is a whole different ballgame altogether. He forced his child into something that his child may or may not, based on what we've known, I don't know the decision he had with his son. His son, I don't know if his son came to him first. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this for his birthday." Based on the information we have, I don't think that Boosie made a good decision because he has pushed his child publicly, not even privately. Like, this shit was extra public. Pushed himself into something that may or may not been something he even wanted. Even beyond the fact that it should be done at 12 years old to have a prostitute, which has so many elements to it. Just the basic love between a father and a child of having a decision that was forced upon them. It's not cool. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't like it. I don't like this situation. I know I play a lot of devil's advocate tonight, but overall, I do not. Even as a father myself, because I would not have done anything near something like this.
I think it's.
And go ahead.
So what scares me is how common this is. That's what scares me. And then, like you said, for him to have said it in public means that he wholeheartedly believes in what he is doing, and he believes others should be doing it as well. And it's rape. Really, it's rape. And it's wrong. And I really wouldn't mind if he was made an example of and got in trouble with this situation, just to show, like, okay, this is not all right, what you're doing to these kids. I agree with what Lo said. I agree with keeping their innocence and allowing them to experience these things for themselves, but giving them the knowledge.
He took that away from him.
Final thought.
God.
Giving them the tools of what to do in an experience. You know what I'm saying? In a sexual experience.
You're right.
Now, he did say, and I don't know how I feel about this, he did say in that same video, I taught my 8 and 9, 10-year-olds how to put a condom on. All right.
I mean, shit.
All right. it's weird. It's gross to me, but some kids do need to know that early. I don't know. Not all though.
No. That's a fun skill set.
But I'm better with that than you creating this situation for him that really could affect him for the rest of his life. It's just wrong.
A lot of things. Like, there's something to me that is a very personal decision that requires discretion, and you have made this extremely public.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that was a decision between father and son, whether this panel, the 30's perspective, whether we agree on it or not, that is not our child. None of us.
Right.
If he decided that that's what I'm gonna do with my child, and the child's like, you know what, Dad, I don't like your decision. Great, prostitute. That is not, to me, something that needs to be shared with anybody else. And
Brandon, we could go all night with this because I could.
Oh my God! Like there are so many elements to this.
With this, there was so much wrong with this topic. Like
I feel like I could go all night speaking on.
Oh, I definitely could. Like, I know I play devil's advocate tonight, and I'm good at doing that. And that's my degree is in, by the way. So if I do that, it does not necessarily mean that's what my personal opinion is. I'm good at doing devil's advocate.
You serious when you trying to play devil's advocate, bro?
Good, thank you. Because you know what?
I'm just
like
I'm coming for you.
Right now, like I'm upset as a father that this happened.
Right. I'm a parent as well.
And I don't like it too, because like I mentioned earlier, now that you've exposed your child to this, you've exposed almost every kid he comes in contact, because he's gonna be telling his friends. What if you might have a very a household that's ran like a tight ship, and now his friend has experienced this with a grown woman, not even like another kid.
So you're telling me you don't think
right, Paul? All right, so that's different, because to me, when you do too much restriction, tight ship thing.
Well, no,
you're just asking. You're asking for rebellion.
What I'm saying is a trickle effect. It's a trickle effect, because now that you've opened that door up for your child, he's opening that door for other kids. What if he decides to become? I don't know. If you haven't taught him about consent, what if he's over sexualized? What if he starts to touch kids or another, like a girl, because he wants this experience? You don't know what it's going to happen.
There's so much that goes into this.
It trickles down to other kids who have never even had this experience.
Right. Because my thing is, my kid would not be hanging out with Boosie's son. My kid ain't allowed. No, my kid ain't allowed over your house.
Let's remind me of those kids.
So you do know when you tell your kid not to do something, they're going to try to do it.
They can try.
They're going to try.
They'll be at a place called the Links in my book, because I don't play that. If that's what you want to be grown.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you. Have you ever done anything that your parents didn't want you to do that they don't know about?
Absolutely, we all have. But
we all have done things that we want.
But you did that. So whatever you tell, hey, I want you to do this.
But what you're missing though, Brandon, is, let me tell you this. My parents ran a very tight ship, and but let me tell you what my mom didn't do though. My mom didn't play about certain things, and whether I liked it or not, I still respected my mom in that sense. When I got to become an adult, then I did things that I wanted to do as an adult. But that's how my mom ran her household. My mom didn't play that. Did I go and do things that my mom didn't want? Some things, yes, because that's what kids do.
No. According to you, that's not. So
it's like my mom wanted us to make sure, as females, there was 3 girls, me and my 2 sisters, and my brother. As the 3 girls, my mom has always taught us to treat our bodies as if they are a temple. I'm the church. Remember, that's what you called me last week, the church lady. The church lady response.
Oh, if you're gonna be a church lady, we're gonna go at it. We're gonna have a great time.
My mom told me as a woman how to treat my body. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20 years old, and with somebody that I wanted. Awesome. Right.
All right. So you know what I like about that? Here's what I like about that. I'm gonna say this.
We got 4 minutes. It's almost 11:20.
It's a whole 4 minutes. Listen. I'm very happy because a lot of people have not chose this. You made a conscious decision as to who you wanted that to be.
Right, but my mom gave me that choice. That's what I'm saying. She told me about, my mom wasn't really like all open about sex. She wasn't. She was just told me don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not.
I got you. So that's the issue because humans, even biblically, when they're told not to do something, they do it. And that's for
but that's different because I was raised that way. I'm going to open that line of communication with my child.
And what it does is it adds balance because now you don't have to think one way about a certain thing. So now that I've been presented with abstinence, then I can think about abstinence. But then when I'm presented with sex, I can think about sex and I can consider abstinence as well. It provides a balance.
I support the idea of teaching your child to make rational decisions.
Exactly.
Versus telling him don't do it just because I said so.
Right. But that
doesn't work so well. Now, as for the whole treat your body as temples thing, here's the issue with that argument. Temples are successful when they have a lot of people.
You're funny. But anyways,
it's true. It's true.
I'm looking at the situation different. I'm looking at it as my parents told me and gave me different things. Now that I am a parent, I'm gonna take what my parents gave me and I'm just gonna kind of tweak it a little bit.
That's what it should be. It should be you taking what your parents give to you and you improve upon it and you apply it to your life and you build upon the foundation given to you.
Right. So my thing is when my daughter becomes when she starts talking and, periods start coming and whatever, we're going to have those conversations. I want her to be open with me. I want her to talk to me, be able to come to me and talk to me. Am I going to be okay with everything that she's going to say to me? No. But I'm also going to line up that palette for her to be able to be like, you know what, Mom, I think I'm ready. I'm going to be like,
all right. I can say this as a parent myself, you can hope to do that. You can try to set it up. You may not. They may, on their own decision, feel as they're not comfortable with it.
You're right.
Like as a parent, we all like, I want my kid to talk to me. I want to know everything going on. And you also say, I want to protect them from all the shit. You want to protect them from all the shit. You wish that you could just matrix download all your shit so they can move on from that point. And it sucks because they have to experience some of that shit for themselves.
Right.
Very true. All right. Well, we got to go, y'all. We've been on here way too long. So we have Miss Alicia Terrell in the building.
Lauren already left. Los left. He said, I'm done.
We got B Mike.
Devil's advocate. That's me.
Devil's advocate tonight.
That's gonna be my thing. That's gonna be my thing every time.
Lauren Shields, aka Folkland Los. Sorry.
The gone guy. He's disappeared.
He stepped out on us on this very long podcast, and then
to be a parent for his child, he left.
Yes, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
And then this is your girl Sherelle Unique here. We are the 30's perspective. So holla. See you next week.
We out.